every decision you have ever made has led you to this moment. Now let me explain, please, before you click off of the video. This is a quote from Darth Maul in season, I believe, 7 of Clone Wars, and it has recently got me thinking a lot about the idea of this. Alright, so let's dig a little bit deeper into this quote. So every decision that you have made has led you to this moment, right? And this kind of brings up a couple of different thoughts, and I think it's so cool and so fun to think about, because if you look at like different past things or different experiences that happen or different people that come into your life, you can kind of work your way backwards to kind of figure out, oh my gosh, if I didn't do this thing or if I didn't do that thing, then whatever it is that happened or whatever person that came into your life or anything like that, like whatever the experience or thing is, it wouldn't have happened if that one thing didn't happen, and if you didn't make those decisions and those choices in order to, I guess, continue your path on them. And I think it's just so cool to think about, because whether you believe in fate or destiny, I think that it's just such a cool thing to think a little bit deeper about and be able to kind of question it a little bit and take a step back and realize, once again, oh my gosh, if I didn't make that one decision of maybe, say, talking to a person, or for me it was signing up for the SMP that I'm doing, like it could literally be one decision that completely changes your life, or just one decision that leads to the next and so on and so forth. And it's so cool, and I really hope that me rambling about all of this and saying the same thing and reiterating it isn't too annoying, I guess. I hope that you guys can kind of understand what I'm trying to explain, and yeah. Okay, with that, we are going to talk a little bit about the SMP example that I gave you. So for me, the thing that this idea brings up is the SMP. Literally, it was one of those things where I submitted my application and I didn't even expect a thing out of it, honestly. I just submitted it and kind of hoped, I guess, that I would get in, and I didn't really care either way. I would be super thrilled if I got in, kind of bummed if I didn't, but it was kind of meh either way. And eventually I ended up getting into the SMP, and that one thing I think actually changed a lot for me. And so coming on to the SMP for the first time and having voice chat and being able to talk to everybody, especially at the same time, that launch day, that first day, was absolutely insane. Being able to hear everybody and talk to everybody, it was crazy. But yeah, being able to do that and have that experience, it was a lot, but it was so fun, and it led to the next thing and onto the next thing, and eventually I started making a lot of friends on this SMP, and I am so grateful for every single one of them, especially up to this point, and I cannot wait to make more friends in the future, because it's so fun, and I don't really know how I have gone this long without knowing these people. Anyways, I guess now is the time in the video where I ask you guys, what are your guys' thoughts? What do you think about this quote? Is there any experience in your life right now? Are you like living anything that you think might be kind of something like this in the future for you? And you'll look back on it and be like, oh my gosh, if I didn't do this one thing that I'm doing right now, then maybe that thing wouldn't happen. And I don't know if that makes any sense. I guess my brain just didn't really comprehend that. I hope you guys understood that. Yeah, but once again, just like always, let me know your thoughts and ideas and opinions down in the comment, whether it's about this quote or if it's about an experience or if this makes you think of anything else, or like literally absolutely anything that relates to this idea and this topic, or something that it makes you think of, I guess. And I am so excited to see what you guys think. All right, the questions that I like to ask myself when I start to think about different things like this are, what are the choices that led me here? Like, what are those different things that I've been talking about that specifically led me to here? And if that didn't, like, if that didn't happen, then would this other thing happen? The cause and effect type situation, right? That's one thought that or one question that I like to think of. And then the other thing that I like to think of is, what if that one thing was different? What if you made one choice that was different than the choice you made? Like, what would happen? What would be the ripple effect? Kind of like, I don't know, let's use time travel, for example. What effect would that have on you now? Like, where would you be? What would be happening? Would you have met that person? Would you have gone through those experiences? Again, I am reiterating kind of the same thing over and over again, so I really hope that you guys kind of understand what I'm trying to get at, and I, again, would very much like to know your ideas and thoughts and anything and everything down below in the comments. Okay, as a last kind of bonus thing, here are a few more questions that I also ask myself because I have compiled a list and I want to kind of get them out there so you guys can get your brain thinking a little bit and everything else. So the first one is, I don't know if this makes sense, but ... and then start like filling in the blanks of, I don't really know if this makes sense, but if this thing didn't happen, then that wouldn't happen, and cause and effect, ripple effect, blah blah blah. And then the next thing is, isn't it kind of weird when you think about ... So like, isn't it kind of weird when you think about that if I didn't make this choice and I decided to go with a different one, then once again, the ripple effect and cause and effect, everything would be different. Possibly, maybe, who knows? Again, just a fun thing to think about. And then there's another one that's like what? What kind of things? Like what? Anyways, and then the next one is, that is literally insane, or that is actually insane. That is so crazy that if I think about this, then maybe I wouldn't have met this person or these people, and with me in the SMP, I wouldn't have met these people if I did not decide to randomly submit an application to the SMP one day. Like, you just never know. That brings me to the very last question of, maybe I am just overthinking it. And this is, I think, one of the most common things that I think about like all the time, is what if I'm overthinking about it? And most cases, rather than not, yeah, we're overanalyzing everything and we're overthinking everything. And in some cases, that's completely okay. In other cases, it can just become annoying or detrimental, or it can have an effect on our mental health, or all of these different things, right? And all of those questions are absolutely great and everything, but the other thing that I can't help myself to think of, I just placed a block there, that is fantastic. Oops. Is that if everything led me here, then maybe where we're at isn't necessarily a bad thing. Maybe where we're at is exactly where we need to be. And I know that sounds super cheesy, and I know that sounds kind of like classic, everybody says it, but at the same time, I do also think that if we really sit to think about it a little bit, then it can become kind of fun, and it can become kind of fun to think about all of these fun thoughts. Anyways, with that said, if you have made it to the end of this video, it means you probably ended up liking this video, so please consider liking and subscribing and leaving a comment down below on any of these thoughts, and I will see you in the next episode video, or whatever else you see me in. Bye everyone!